Hello everyone, and welcome to Age-Friendly Chelmsford. I'm here with my co-host Lisa Marrone.
Hi, Debbie.
And member of the Age-Friendly Implementation Committee in town. We've been working very hard on making our action plan work. And one of the things we were doing is creating this monthly show to let people know some of the things that are going on in town that are age-friendly already, and things that we're working on to make it even better. One of the things that makes a community age-friendly is its community supports and health supports. And so we're focusing today on home care and trying to make sure that there are options in the community for people to stay home, but stay safe, be healthy, and maintain their dignity and enjoy being in their own home as they age gracefully. So we have these wonderful visitors today from Visiting Angels, and we have Karen and Larry, who are co-owners, correct?
Correct.
And so we welcome you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us. It's nice to see you, Deb and Lisa.
How many years have you been here in Chelmsford? You're a long-standing.
Well, Visiting Angels it was established in 2004 by two high school best friends who had cared for their aging parents. And after their family passed, they said, this is what we want to do. We want to help our friends and colleagues in Chelmsford help their families age in place safely, comfortably, and with respect. And so they started the business, and Larry and I were fortunate enough to buy it from them, acquire it in 2009? No.
2019.
19. Time flies, right?
Right?
Yeah,
But
so it's been 4 years.
The business has been in town for a lot longer than that.
Yes, a long time.
Yeah, we've known for quite a while.
Well, thank you for the reminder of that, because I think your business was one of the first that we did a ribbon cutting for when I arrived. And I did meet the original Angels as we refer, and I forgot that story.
Yeah.
That's really special.
Yeah. So we've been doing it for 4 years, but it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It can be such a gift to a family who are looking for some options other than being in a facility of sorts. I mean, sometimes it's the right thing for folks to be in a facility and get a different type of care, but there are lots of options now to be able to stay at home. So tell me, I think we have a slide, some of the options that are available that you provide, and other companies in town as well. We have lots of options, but we have a slide, a little bit of some of the things that you provide. So tell me about a lot. This looks like a lot. Does everybody who comes in and gets service have to have all these services?
No. We really try to meet people where their need is. So some of our clients really just need companionship, someone to help them just navigate the day, maybe run an errand, things like that. So very light touch. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people that really need much more support. And so it can range anywhere from a few hours, 1 day a week, to 24/7, depending on the needs. What's on the screen is sort of the list of the different things that our caregivers can provide support for.
And you have overnight care as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, one thing, so you do, you have respite care for family caregivers as well, so it doesn't have to be a regular thing for your,
right.
It could be maybe if your family wanted to go away for
exactly.
a week and was worried about a loved one.
Yeah, that happens quite regularly,
Okay.
Where a family member will give us a call. They're planning some time away. They're the caregivers usually for their aging loved one, and they know that just to be safe, their family members should have someone either checking in on them or providing the support that they provided. So it might be for a week or a weekend or something like that. Sometimes family members are traveling for like a wedding or something like that, and their loved one really can't travel, and so we can help with that too.
That's wonderful.
And to Larry's point, our visiting angels, caregivers' schedules match up with the needs of the families. If you just need someone during the day, a couple of days a week, we can come in and have a caregiver be there for companionship. But we also provide 24/7 if the person can't be left alone, or if they need someone there, overnight awake, or a live-in.
Mm-hmm. And is this all private pay, or are there options for other services at all? Or?
Yeah, so our agency is private pay, and we also accept clients who have veterans benefits. Other agencies are also not public pay. They may work through an ASAP, which is an Aging Service Access Point, but it just depends on the family and what they're looking for and whether we're the right agency for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to kind of share this information now. You don't know when you're going to need it, and when you do, it's an instant, like the world changes, your world changes, and to have this reference information before you need it, or to make that network so that people can help each other to navigate the system, because you're not really paying attention to any of this until you're in a crisis mode.
Right.
And to know that there's 24/7 Saturdays, Sundays, evening nights, and it's very important to even understand what's available, and then to be able to do that locally in your community is really invaluable, so that you're in your familiar surroundings, your familiar loved ones and friends and neighborhood, and it really makes all the difference.
We often say that people call us sort of a week too late.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yes. Yes.
So,
I mean, my mom, she took a fall. She's fine, thank God. But it wasn't until something happened that she was even willing to consider having somebody come into her home to try to, provide some support for her. And usually, unfortunately, that's often the case where something happens and that precipitates, the recognition that there's some need for some additional support.
So what are some of the the things that you might look for that if you're a person at home and thinking you might need help, or a family care, a family member, what are some of the signs that people might benefit from being able to have a home care
I mean, I would
service?
definitely think about if there's a family member that's living alone. There's other issues, just loneliness, and someone else to see if they're doing okay.
Right. You might find that your loved one's clothes are more dirty than usual. They're not dressed the way they used to dress. They haven't changed their linens in a while. You open the refrigerator, some of the food has gone bad. So you might find that your loved one is not quite on top of their life the way they used to be. And those are all signs that they could use some additional support in the home.
Mm-hmm. And there are some people who are living with their loved ones, like say a couple, and maybe one person needs a little assistance, maybe with showering, so they're not quite as at risk. Maybe they have had falls. You can still come in and help that person just maybe even have a shower once every couple days or something, so that the other person's not at risk. Because what I worry about is also the caregivers. Sometimes not only just physically at risk, but also mentally. It's very stressful to be a caregiver.
Right. The beauty of having a professional caregiver come into your home is that it's peace of mind for the family as well. We provide services for the client, but it's also peace of mind for the family. They know that the person, their loved one, has someone to talk to, has someone to take care of them, has someone to look out for these signs and warn them. I mean, and it allows you, like my mother has a visiting angels caregiver, and unlike Larry's mother, she got it before she really needed it, and they developed this amazing relationship. So now, when she really needs it, it's been established. But it gave me peace of mind that my mother was being taken care of, and that I didn't have to be on call 24/7. I could go and I could be her daughter. I didn't have to do her laundry, go grocery shopping, make her meals. I could just come and have that familiar
Enjoy
relationship that we have.
She always has something for you to do, though.
Yes. Yes, that never ends.
That's okay. That's a mom's prerogative, being a mom. No, but it's nice to not have that, you don't have to be bossy.
Right, exactly.
You can be.
Exactly. And we also find that people listen to their caregivers more than they listen to their family members.
Very true.
Good point. Good point. I think that life balance continues at any age. So being able to maintain the quality of relationships and, looking back on my situation, the memories of my mother are just spectacular and just very comforting. And so the whole process, providing care, staying involved, keeping it local, using that support system that's around you, and also in your situation, being a locally owned business, it's very personal, it's very intimate that you're providing medical and health care to people that are here. And you're a resident as well, right? As we know from our previous work together on our other talk show that we did for a while. And had a good
You guys
time.
are going on talk shows without me.
But it's just seeing that full circle, the bigger picture of it, and the importance of it all to age in place that way.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's helpful is when a family comes, our case manager will go out and meet with the family and meet with the loved one. And sometimes, I know from my own perspective, when I'm looking at my mom, I see the mom that I grew up with. And trusting my judgment in terms of what she's still capable of doing or not doing may not be the best decision. Sometimes it's really helpful to have somebody that's impartial, that's a professional, and can really assess someone's capabilities and how much support they do or do not need.
And it
Family
takes away
members
that
can be biased.
emotionality of
Exactly.
it too, of the decision,
Yeah.
because I know it's very difficult. People have different relationships with their family members to begin with, and that can really get in the middle of things sometimes when you're making trying to be objective about decisions.
Right.
And I know as a mom, I don't want my kids to come in and boss me around and tell me what I need to do after being independent my whole life. I think that's a really difficult thing to have to do. And or my husband, I don't want him bossing me around.
So our client care manager, Cheryl Nicholas, she was a caregiver, and she has been in the business for at least 15 years, cared for her own parents. And now she goes out to our potential clients and she'll do an assessment. She'll look at the house and say, this rug is a tripping hazard, or this outlet and this cord looks frayed. And so we do a real we do a safety check in the house, and we do a real assessment of the person and what their needs may be to determine, can a caregiver come in and support this person to be in the home and enjoy age-friendly Chelmsford, this amazing program that you guys have set up, or is it time to think beyond home care and go into one of the great assisted living facilities or memory care units that the area has?
Another tool we have at the Senior Center or online, it's an AARP tool. It's called Home Fit, and it's like a little booklet, and it says different check-off lists of things that you should be checking on at your house for any age, really. But for seniors, to check what is safe in your house and what's not, and what could be a risk possibly for falling or for fire, and so it's a nice tool. And we have some copies at the Senior Center. You're welcome to come, or if you look on AARP website, it's called Home Fit, and there's a little, I think, booklet that you can just have for free and check things off, and it's a nice little tool to use. So speaking of the person who was working for you for 15 years, now, Lisa, you do a lot with employment with seniors, right?
Right. My domain in the age-friendly program is employment for the mature worker, as well as civic participation. But we did the Age Strong Job Fair at the Senior Center, which was very successful. Together. And that was a great time, and we were one of the first communities in our area to give it a try with mass hire, so we're going to be doing that annually, and it was sold out with employers, and Visiting Angels was there.
We were.
And if you want to expand a little bit, I heard some new information that I didn't know about your training venture.
And we have
So-
a slide for this as well, right?
Yes.
We have a slide.
We're really excited about the opportunity for people that have maybe retired from their professional careers but are still looking to be part of the community and to give back. The hours are flexible. We provide training. The training we have got sort of 4 components of training. There's an online training that our caregivers can do at their own convenience from wherever they're comfortable.
Yeah, it's Visiting Angels University, and there's courses on dealing with someone with dementia and how to prevent elder abuse, how to be aware of it, airborne illnesses. We had a lot of training on COVID prevention and flu prevention, and so the Visiting Angels University is a really great resource for
If a senior's not very comfortable with computers, do you have some at the office?
This is training for our caregiver. Oh, if a senior who wants to be a caregiver?
If they wanted to work for
Yes,
you.
we do. We do.
So that you don't have to access the computer at home if you're not that comfortable with
Right.
it, then you have options at the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So in addition to that, we also have partnered with the Commonwealth on a program to provide training to caregivers that want to get a certification either as a home health aide or a certified nursing assistant, and that's in partnership with Middlesex Community College. So we're really excited about that. We've sent, I think, 10 of our caregivers to those classes, and they're ready to go sit for the test and get their certification. We also have a partnership with the Home Care Association of Massachusetts. They just received a grant where they will support us so that our most experienced and skilled caregivers can be mentors to our less experienced or newer caregivers so that they can actually have somebody that really has been doing this for a while, show them things to do, things not to do, how to deal with different situations. And then last but not least, we're excited that we're fitting out a training room in our office. We've just gotten a hospital bed that was donated by a very generous family in Lowell that no longer needed it. And so that'll give us the opportunity for our caregivers that want to practice or have some techniques about how to safely transfer somebody from a bed to standing, or from standing to the bed, or to a wheelchair, or things like that. So we want to make sure that the population that we serve and the caregivers are all safe and doing what they need to do.
Yeah, it's a really rewarding second career, I think, for people. I think on one of your previous shows, I think I heard that 30% of the population of Chelmsford is over 60. And I think that has got to include a lot of people that aren't ready to sit down and just do the events at the senior center, which are
Absolutely.
all great, but that leaves a lot of time in your
Don't
week.
sit down at Zumba. But true.
It gives people time to go out there and give back and really make someone else's day.
And make money, too.
Right.
I mean, you're hiring people at a fairly good rate.
Yeah, we do. We pay very well. If someone who's not certified can come in and make $21 an hour and really feel good. It's not always about the money. It's about feeling good about what you do. The hours are flexible. We can work to your schedule. And a lot of people have anecdotal experience about taking care of their mother or taking care of their spouse or even a child. But our number one qualification for someone who comes to us and wants to be a visiting angel is that they have a caring heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What kind of physical responsibilities would they have? Even for me, I would think, okay, how much lifting would I have to do?
Right. So it's really more about skills and technique than about strength.
Okay.
So we don't require our caregivers to be able to lift any more than they might have to lift if they were working in an office.
So 25 pounds is kind of what you would use as a guide.
Yeah. Yeah. Because one of my biggest worries is that a caregiver might do something and then themselves get injured. We don't want that to happen. So we really talk to them about doing things safely. If they ever feel unsafe, we ask them to call the office, and we will either walk them through what they need to do, or we'll figure out how to get somebody else there to assist them. Sometimes it's another family member where really you need 2 people to maneuver somebody instead of just one.
And our office staff is available 24/7. So if a caregiver is ever out there and they're like, what do I do in this situation? There is a wealth of experience in our office waiting to answer the phone and give guidance.
And you're located right on Chelmsford Street. We should cover that,
Right, 111
111
Chelmsford
Chelmsford
Street,
Street.
right across from the busiest Dunkin' Donuts on the planet.
Not a bad place to work, really. We're gonna be next to
Exactly.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. Right. Very good.
Not that this is an advertisement, but they can give me free coffee if they want.
Yeah, stop by and say hi.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the devices and tricks that are helpful right now for people who are staying at home and aging in place, and their family members and loved ones. So tell me a little bit about some of the tools that you use or you help offer the families.
Well, I think, and something I need to remind myself in my own personal situation is, when you're spending time with your loved one, do it at a time where you have the time to listen. They may have things to tell you. They may repeat themselves. Don't be rushed because it just adds stress to the situation. Sometimes we get calls from families and they say, well, I need somebody to help my mom or my dad, but just for an hour. And what we explain to them is trying to do whatever it is in an hour adds even more stress to the situation and can make things a little more risky. Okay, so just giving yourself enough time, I think it would be one sort of tip to families in Chelmsford. The other thing is, as much as possible, avoid conflict. If you can just say okay, a lot of times that de-escalates the situation, and then you can maybe focus on something else for a little while, and then come back to the issue that was potentially creating a conflict in a bit when you're all in a better space. So those are a couple sort of interactive things that are good to keep in mind.
In terms of like technologies that you can have in your home, things like Lifeline that are, it's like a necklace that you wear. If you fall, you can push it and it calls the first responders. You might want to have a lockbox on your door that has a key where your neighbor knows the code and they'll be able to open the door. You don't have to have your door
Or the
knocked
police.
down. Or the police, yeah.
Fire, and then they won't break the door down. We have those available from the fire department or at the senior center if your family would like to have a lockbox. A part of the age-friendly initiative. We did buy some, and so they are available for folks. A limited availability, but they're for free, and that will save some money, and they won't have to break down the door. And they can have access to check in with your loved one. Also, I know my mother-in-law has a meds box that is locked, and it only opens up that little tiny
Right.
one-day
It's
pill
pre-dosed.
box, and it's
Right.
pre-dosed, yeah.
So most senior home care agencies, including Visiting Angels, are non-medical, and so we are not allowed to open a prescription bottle and pull out the recommended dose because we just don't want any mistakes to be made. So we rely on the pharmacies that provide the prepackaged sets. We rely on family members to put the dosage in a pill box that says, Monday AM, Monday PM. So those are all great tools for families to have, and it helps the caregiver do a med reminder for the client.
And even if you don't have a caregiver, just for the elderly loved one themselves, it helps them to remember, did I take my pills this morning? Oh yeah, they're gone. Or no,
And you
they're
could
still
just
there.
ask the pharmacy for that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
most pharmacies will do that. And then we also have the safety net bracelet program that we just started at the police department. They have bracelets. You know a little bit more about this
I
one.
do. So it's a bracelet program that was recently introduced. You might have seen the article where they helped a wandering older person that was rescued and found and kept safe.
Very
So
cool day,
those
too.
are also available through the municipality. But the misnomer is that it's not tracking you constantly. It's something that gets activated when in need by the family. So it's not something that's always monitored. It's more of something of a tool and a device to use in time of crisis or need. So those are available. There's a limited supply available, but there are other options where you could purchase one as well.
Yeah,
If there's
yeah.
an
And
instant need.
We bought some for Chelmsford residents to have for free through
Yeah.
this program, but then when we run out, they're available for purchase as
Yeah.
well.
Really important.
So we only have a few seconds left. It always goes by so fast. There's so much information to know.
Your
Thank you
website
so
address,
much.
maybe?
visitingangels.com/Chelmsford. And I just want to say Visiting Angels or any kind of home care agency is a great way to help loved ones participate in the age-friendly Chelmsford community that you guys have created. There wouldn't be any wandering and need for the bracelet, hopefully, if you had a Visiting Angel caregiver.
Thanks for what you do for Chelmsford.
Thank you so much. And if you want information on any of these programs in town, we have lots of flyers at the Senior Center, and we're happy to help. Thank you.
Thanks.